Good evening and welcome to Weekend Update. I'm your host, Eric Farmer. Today is Saturday, January 17th, 2026. Kind of a cold, chilly week up here, Rocky Mountains of Colorado. But yeah, still not too bad though. But yeah, today wasn't too nice. Last couple days, lots of wind, a little bit of snow, colder temperatures. Feels a lot like January for sure, but still, it can be a lot worse. But yeah, it looks like next week we're expecting a lot of cold weather here in the United States, but most of it I think is going to stay off to the east of us. So, but yeah, 2026. It's been an interesting year so far, and looking like it's going to be a lot of crazy shit going on in 2026. Just judging by the first couple weeks, it's been a lot of shit going on, man. Just so much stuff to talk about. It's insane. It seems like all hell is breaking loose all over the fucking world, and yeah, just lots of interesting things happening. You know, the whole ICE situation going on, and I think the United States is getting ready to bomb Iran. Bomb, 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 bomb Iran. Bomb, 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 bomb Iran. Yeah, I think I listened to one guy a little earlier talking about this Iran situation, and he thinks they're going to bomb Iran next Saturday. A week from today, the bombing in Iran will commence. So, yeah, 2026 is going to be something else. And then we're occupying what is that place? Venezuela. Yeah, we're occupying. Trump says we're going to be running Venezuela indefinitely. So yeah, it looks like the United States is going to be running Venezuela, and we will be taking their fuel. We will be taking their gasoline and their oil. That's what Trump said. Like, oh no, we just attacked them to protect American people from the drug lords. So yeah, as if our government wants to protect us from drugs. It's all such garbage. But yeah, lots of crazy shit going on. The whole ICE situation in Minnesota. That's a lot worse than I thought it was, man. A week ago, it was just a couple days after that woman got shot. Supposedly, allegedly she got shot. I mean, I'm still not convinced that she was actually killed, but a lot of people are saying it really doesn't matter whether anyone was really killed or not. But yeah, it was still a whole staged, they did it on purpose, really, so whether the woman was actually killed or not is kind of not important. Well, I guess it is important to her family. Yeah, fuck yeah. Yeah, just a lot of shit since then has happened. See, over here in Colorado, we had an interesting situation last week where 51 gas stations around the Denver area received contaminated fuel. That made me a little bit nervous because it's not far from where I'm at. 51 gas stations. And I can imagine how many cars. What they did was there was diesel fuel put into the unleaded gas tank. And yeah, people were putting gasoline, mostly diesel mixed with some regular gas. And yeah, just fucked up people's cars, man. God, I couldn't imagine, man. If I would be so pissed off. 51, you think about it. It could be a mistake if it was like a few gas stations or one or two, but 51. That's 51 gas stations containing receiving contaminated fuel, it's not a coincidence. It wasn't a mistake. I think it was done on purpose by somebody. I'm not saying who did it or why, but I believe, it couldn't have been a mistake. It was someone purposely sabotaging people's fucking cars. And crazy shit, man. So yeah, lots of shit going on so far in 2026, man. It's like one fucking shit after another. But we'll see what's the next shoe that's going to drop. Like I said, they're going to bomb Iran. I got it from good sources, man. It's going to happen. Probably 1 week from today. Mark your calendars, folks. They're going to start bombing Iran. And yeah, World War III will escalate. And talk about, war with Russia. Yeah, it looks like it's going to be a lot of war going on in 2026. I think Mr. Trump, our anti-war president, the president doesn't run shit. He's a character playing a role. But yeah, it's funny how everybody believes that Trump is really in control. I find it amusing, and people are so dumb that they really believe that the president runs the country. Oh shit. But yeah, just as if that's not enough. Let's see. United States is occupying Venezuela, getting ready to bomb Iran. Oh yeah, and Trump's talking about we're going to take over Greenland next. He said if we don't go in there and take over Greenland, fucking the Russians are going to do it, or the Chinese. I don't know if that's going to happen or not, but yeah, that's straight out of Trump's mouth, man. If we don't take over Greenland, Russia or China will do it. Yeah, it's unbelievable. I mean, what's the resources? I imagine, yeah, Greenland does have a lot of resources. It's probably full of oil and everything else. Oh yeah, I heard Greenland has a lot of lithium that they need for their AI. And that's another thing that's going on these days. Everybody's talking about AI. Everything's about AI now, man. It's just the data centers and God, it's just what these data centers are doing to the world, man. It's really bad news. They move into an area, like they'll build them like right in the middle of a fucking town, right next to people's homes. And they put out pollution and light pollution and can contaminate the water. It's unbelievable what's going on. I mean, it's really hard to fathom that this is shit's really happening. All for fucking to fund machines that are going to take everybody's jobs away. I mean, oh God, God help us. So yeah, that's it, man. Occupying Venezuela, getting ready to bomb Iran, talking about taking over Greenland, and artificial intelligence taking over everything. Holy shit. What a year 2026 is going to be. Expecting like several polar vortexes to come through the United States. So yeah, we might see some shitty cold weather, but they're saying it's going to stay more to the east. So people in the eastern U.S. are going to get the shitty cold weather. And the western U.S. is going to be pretty nice, I guess, which is not very good. We really need moisture in the West. I mean, it's ridiculous how dry it is. Now they're talking about Lake Powell's drying up. Oh my God, fear. Oh, but yeah, but then I heard other people say, "Nah, man, it's not true, man. Lake Powell is not drying up. These people are just fucking trying to fear monger everybody." So yeah, that and the NFL playoffs are happening this week. So they're talking about here in Colorado. The goddamn Broncos. I don't know. I think they're probably just about done with the game. I don't know, but I know. I went to the liquor store earlier, and they had the game on in the liquor store, and like, yeah, the Broncos were down 7-3 at the end of the first quarter. So yeah, we'll see. I have a feeling that the Broncos are going to win the game. They're playing the Buffalo Bills, but yeah, I think Denver's going to win the game. I think that's the way it's scripted. Because I mean, I believe that the NFL is scripted, so I think the Broncos might win the Super Bowl this year. I think that's the script. For some reason, yeah, Denver came up out of nowhere, and then all of a sudden they're a powerhouse team, and I think they're going to win the Super Bowl because that's what the people that fucking script the show. That's what they want. But I could be wrong about that. Of course, anybody could be wrong about anything. But I don't think I'm wrong about the NFL being scripted. Holy shit. Forgot my mic. Looks like it's on. Can you guys hear me? Anybody watching? I think 4 people watching. I think I did. Let me check it. Let me check the audio. I guess you can't hear me. Maybe Denver because of the silver boom. Yeah. I don't know. Does anybody watch? I don't watch the NFL, man. But I know it's scripted, and there might be a reason why they want Denver to win the Super Bowl. They're not, but it looks like that to me. But we'll see. The game I like is hockey, and we've been having the best hockey team in the world this year. But the last few games, they've been stumbling. I think in the Colorado Avalanche in their last 6 games are like 2 wins, 3 losses, and 1 tie or something like that. No, they don't really have a tie, but if you don't lose in regulation, then you get a point. But anyways, they're still way ahead of the rest of the league. So they're playing Monday against the Washington Capitals. We'll see what happens. But yeah, the fucking Olympics is coming up too. That kind of sucks. I'm not really pleased about the Olympics coming up. It's really fucking up the whole hockey season. Because all these players from the NHL are going to be playing in the Olympics. And the fucking in Italy, Milan, Italy, I think, and their hockey arena is like too small. They built the fucking hockey arena too small. It's like 4 feet shorter than the NHL arena. So they're like worried that the NHL players will get hurt because they're used to playing on a bigger ice surface, and so they might not go to the game. I don't know. They might pull out of it. All the NHL pull out of the Olympics, but I strongly doubt that'll happen. But it's possible. So yeah, 2026 has been a hell of a year, man, for sure. It'll be interesting to see how it all turns out. If we make it to 2027, hopefully it'll we're all wrong and everything will be fine. Cooler heads will prevail. They won't bomb Iran, and the occupation of Venezuela will go smooth and everything will be fine. No, and they won't invade Greenland. And I heard that, man. I was just like, what the fuck? You got to be kidding me. Why the fuck would they want to invade Greenland? It's mostly just covered in ice. But the truth is, it's got a lot of lithium, probably a lot of other resources that they want. Like Venezuela has all the oil. So yeah, they want to go into Greenland because but they're going to say they're doing it for the good of all the people. But they're really doing it to steal all the resources. Always, right? Oh, fucking these people. They think we're all so stupid. Well, yeah, they're right. Most of us are pretty stupid. That's for sure. They've done a good job of dumbing down the American population for my whole lifetime. Ever since, when I was a kid, we had the best education system in the world. And then as I went through school, it got worse and worse and worse and worse until I dropped out in the 10th grade. That's my proudest accomplishment in my lifetime, was dropping out of high school in the 10th grade. Some people drop out of high school, God, and I was so determined to do it though. I had to go talk to the counselors and shit. If you drop out of school, you'll never amount to anything in life. Well, they're right. I never amounted to much in life. But on the other hand, I don't give a fuck about amounting to anything in life. People are so concerned about, what other people think about them, right? But also, you do well in life, you have an easier life, I guess you could say. I'm sure, in a way, everything's got its pros and cons, right? Nothing. Spending your whole life in a job that you hate, that pays good enough for you to live comfortably, but you hate your fucking job and you got to spend at least 8 hours a day there. Such a horrible way to live. I've always questioned our whole system, my whole life, man. Just our whole way of life, as they call it here in America. I always questioned it. Ever since I was a little kid. Why do we got to pay to live? There's these videos I've been watching lately with they got like these two blue aliens. And they just talk about, they're like studying the human race, and it's pretty damn funny. Like humans, they have to go to work every day for 8 hours a day so they can afford some shelter. They're just like, oh my God, I can't believe how stupid this place is. It's pretty funny. I don't know if you've ever seen these videos with these two blue aliens. They make a bunch of videos making fun of the human race. It's pretty damn fucking funny because it's all true. And the humans invented time, but they never seem to have enough of it. You think if you was going to invent time, you would give yourself plenty of it. But no, humans don't have enough time. They're miserable all the time, but they want to live forever. They live their lives in an utter state of total misery, but they don't want to die. They want to live forever. It doesn't make any fucking sense. So yeah, you think, I don't know. I imagine the game's over by now. I could check, see what happened. Let's see. Broncos versus Bills. 30-30. It's 30-30 in overtime. Holy shit. Boy, they're really playing this one out. The game's still going on. 6 minutes in overtime. 30-30. Wow. Crazy. You just type it into the Google and it gives you all the information. How much time is left? It's Denver. Who's got the ball? 2nd and 10 at Denver 47. It's almost like watching the fucking game. They just keep updating the information. That's pretty interesting, though. It's 30-30 in overtime. That's a pretty high-scoring football game. Yeah. But I have a feeling Denver's going to win it, though, man. I don't know. It doesn't say who's got the ball. Not that I really care about Denver winning it or not, but 2nd and 10 at Denver 47. So I guess I have to update it. Still says 2nd and 10 at Denver 40. I guess it's like timeout. So it looks like the Bills are getting close. If the Bills have the ball right now, they're close to field goal range. I don't know what's field goal range in the NFL, like to the around the 30-yard line. No, you can kick one, I think, from like the 40-yard line. I'm not sure. It's been so damn long since I watched football, and since I quit watching football, all the rules have changed. A lot of the rules have changed, and every year they change more fucking rules. They totally pussified it. They pussified the NFL big time. You know, the old kickoff is gone. You know, the way they do the kickoff now is so fucking gay. You got to be kidding me. That's how they do kickoffs now? You can't do an onside kick anymore. You know, they just fucking destroyed the game. They're bullshit fucking gay rules. They pussified it. They nerfed it. They turned it into a fucking bitch game. Thank God they'll never do that to a hockey. You know why? Because I think the powers that be like hockey. They don't want to fuck it up. That's the one sport that remains true. But that I could be wrong about that too. You know, hockey could be just as fucking rigged as the NFL. But I don't think so, man. I think they like hockey, so they want to keep it the way it is. It's an elite game. Hockey's a very, you know, whereas football and basketball, anybody can play football and basketball. You know, you don't have to come from a wealthy family to play football or basketball. But to play hockey, your parents gotta have some money. It costs like $10,000-$15,000 a season for a kid to play hockey. So yeah, you can't be a poor kid and play hockey. So that's why they like it, because it's an elitist game. You know, only the rich kids are allowed to play and get good at it. You know, very few poor people make it into the NHL. You know, they all come from affluent families. I'm not saying that, I'm not slighting them, saying that they're not great athletes or nothing, but you know, like 90% of the population aren't wealthy enough to play hockey as a kid. You know, I grew up in Southern California, you know, and there was a hockey league for kids there too. And I knew a couple kids that played in it. And they were pretty well-off families. You know, I played baseball and football, but I never even thought about playing hockey. But you know, I'm sure the Southern California Hockey League isn't very good compared to the Canadians. There might be some Canadian kids that aren't as wealthy that could play because it's cold enough up there, and they have ice that they can skate on for it. But yeah, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? So that's my theory of why hockey is not controlled as the other sports. But I think it to a degree, maybe, you know, because I see some bullshit calls by the referees. So, you know, I'm not saying hockey is not rigged, but I think it's less likely to be rigged than football or basketball or baseball. But I don't know. I could be wrong. I could be just totally fucking full of shit. Could be totally wrong about all that. Maybe none of the sports are rigged. I'm just a crazy tinfoil hat conspiracy theorist. And I just want to ruin it for everybody else. Like I was at the brewery the other day having a beer, and like the woman that owns the place, she asked me if I was rooting for any of the NFL football teams. And I told her, yeah. You know, I don't follow football anymore, man. I used to be a huge football fan. I don't give a fuck about it anymore. Well, let's see what's happening in the game. First and goal at the Buffalo 5. Looks like Denver's going to win. Yep. Just like I said. Why don't they kick the field goals? Win the game. I guess if they kick a field goal, the rule change is that Buffalo gets another chance to tie it. I don't know how it works in the playoffs. I think in the regular season, if you get into overtime and then you kick a field goal, you don't win the game automatically like you used to. The other team gets a chance to come down and kick a field goal and tie it again, or score a touchdown and win the game. That's one rule that they changed. Because it used to be, if it was in overtime and you kicked a field goal, it was over with. But if you scored a touchdown, yeah, so now if you kick a field goal, the other team gets a chance. But if you score a touchdown, it's over. Yeah, man. Wonder where all my friends are tonight. All three of them. The whole gang's here. I haven't seen Joe Dirt in like almost a month. Yeah. Denver won. I think it's over with. Or am I wrong? If they get another chance, Buffalo gets a chance. I'm not sure what the rules are anymore, man. If Denver scored a touchdown, it's 33. Imagine that. That's the number, 33. They won. Oh, my God. 33. Why did it have to be that number? You know? You're not telling me that this shit ain't scripted? Oh, my God. You can't make it up. So I'm not sure if Buffalo gets a chance to score a touchdown or a field. I'm not sure in the playoffs, but maybe Buffalo might get a chance to win the game still. But yeah, you couldn't script it any better. Oh, that's final overtime. That's final. It's the final score, 33-30. You can't make it up, man. Man. I called it, man. I fucking called it. Denver's gonna win, and then they scored 33 points on top of that. The fuck out of here! This shit is so scripted. I ain't buying it, man. I wonder who was favored. I'm sure Denver was favored. But did they beat the spread? They probably didn't beat the spread. So if you bet on Denver, you would have lost. That's what it's all about, that too. That's a big part of it, of the scripting of sports, is all the sports betting going on. How many sports betting sites are there now? God, I don't know. FanDuel and all these, and people become addicted to that shit. So I bet you Denver was favored by more than a field goal. So Denver won the game by 33, by only 3 points. And so if you bet on Denver, you would have lost. I'm sure that's what happened. Denver was probably favored by like three and a half points, so they didn't beat the spread. So if you bet on Buffalo, you would have won. That's what I'm thinking. I bet you I could look it up and find out all the information at the touch of a button. It's crazy, man. We didn't have that one in my day. Didn't have all this fucking information at my fingertips. You know, even though I don't have a cell phone. I got to go home and look shit up and talk to people, but at least I'm not around fucking sitting at my looking at my phone, man. It's getting worse, man. Just when you think it couldn't get it, people are just getting, you know, go out in public and just go to a pub or a bar or something and sitting there and everybody's just looking at their phones, man. I'm just so fucking sick of it. What can I do? Quit going out in public, because that's all you're going to see. People just don't realize how their cell phone is destroying their fucking lives. You know, they think it's the greatest thing that they ever had, but they don't realize that they're living in a digital reality, you know, what they call the 2D reality instead of the 3D reality, which is not on a screen, you know. Super Dwayne, what's happening? Yes, NFL is a joke. Can you believe that shit? I called it. I said, I have a feeling Denver's going to win because of reasons. And not only did they win, but they scored 33 points. And they won it in overtime. You can't get more dramatic. They've gotten, you know, one thing that the NFL has gotten really good at is scripting games. They're really good at making it dramatic and entertaining for the fans. The morons, I mean the fans. And people pay thousands of dollars to go to these fucking games. Yeah. No shit. I'm not even exaggerating. People will pay thousands of dollars to go to a fucking NFL playoff game. The magic number 33. You can't make it up. Well, I should have known when it was tied 30-30 that it was going to be a 33 game, right? All threes, 33-30. Just a coincidence, man. Nothing to see here, folks. Move along. Just a coincidence. See, Babalu said 6 o'clock, almost over an hour ago, 20 minutes ago. Maybe Denver because of the silver. The silver boom. They were playing in Denver. Yeah. Yep, I think Denver's going to win the Super Bowl. Go ahead and mark my prediction. Denver will win the Super Bowl by a score of 666-33. And the Broncos Yeah, the Broncos will win the Super Bowl. The Avalanche will win the Stanley Cup, and the Nuggets will win the NBA championship. It's all going to be Denver's year this year. I mean, I'm the only sport I watch is hockey. No, I don't think that's going to happen. Even though Colorado Avalanche are the best team in the NHL, I don't think they're going to win the Stanley Cup. I don't think they're going to win it. They're going to choke. They're going to choke out. They've done that the last couple seasons. Have a great, great season and then choke out in the playoffs. Happens. But yeah, sports. I don't usually talk about sports, but hey, Ozzy in the house. How nice to see you. Speaking of sports, what do they got in Australia? Australian rules football? Dude, I was watching some boxing matches or some Ultimate Fighting Championship. Like Paddy the Baddy. That guy's fucking bad. He's my favorite fighter now, man. Paddy the Baddy, man. He's fucking kicks people's asses. There's some interesting fight that, when I was a kid, they didn't have that shit. The UFC where I call it human cockfighting. They get in the ring and just fucking beat the shit out of it. Anything goes, man. Except you can't kick to the dick. Yeah, but you can elbow, you can hit him with a knee, you can fucking ground and pound, you can submission holds, anything, and it's full on combat. And it usually ends up on the ground. Sometimes it ends up in a fucking straight knockout, but usually they'll end up wrestling on the ground and just fucking fighting for the domination, and then one guy will get on top and just start fucking pounding the fuck out of the guy on the ground until the referee comes and stops it. It's gnarly, man. It's just like the gnarliest street fight you've ever seen. I got a lot of respect for those motherfuckers, man. And women do it too. That to me is a real sport right there. Aussie rules football used to be an excuse to just beat the shit out of the opposing. Now it's a game of for fairies. Yeah. I remember watching a little bit when I was a kid, man. It was on ESPN. Australian rules football. It was kind of like football, but it's almost like a mix between football and rugby and soccer. But they use like a football-shaped ball, right? I know we get confused when we say football, we mean the bean, the bean ball, or American rules football. And when people around the world say football, they mean soccer. We call it soccer here in America. That's really bizarre. But to the rest of the world, football is soccer. I don't know if any other countries call it soccer. But I think in Australia they call it football. They call it footy. But is it still? It's still pretty popular though, isn't it? Australian rules football. Yep, fucking sports. It's keeping the masses dumbed down and fucking distracted with bread and circuses, right? That's what it is. It's a big distraction, man. Americans love their sports, man. I'm sure all the other people do too, but I think in America it's even more pronounced. Sports fucking worship. I'm guilty as anybody else, man. I grew up as a diehard football player, man, fan and player, and And I like baseball, basketball. I watched all that shit. Hockey. I've grown out of it. My dad used to play local. It was just an excuse to bash the other team. Yeah. So just to get out some aggression, beat the fuck out of each other, not end up in jail. That's another thing about sports, man. You know, like in hockey, especially, right? They just fucking straight out fight, and like no one gets in trouble. It's the only place you can legally just get in a brawl without going to jail. But they're on skates, so you know they don't get as much leverage on their punches, right? When you're on skates, you can get some fucking powerful punches in, but you got to have your blade just in the right position to give you some leverage, you know. So fighting on skates is not the same as it is fighting on solid ground, you know, with boxing shoes on. You know, when I was a kid, I took boxing lessons. It helped, man. There was a few fights where I got into when I was a kid in school, and like put a couple, bam, 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 and the fight was over. I hit the guy like 3 or 4 times, and he was laying on the ground and fucking bleeding. And I was like, holy shit, these boxing lessons paid off. I didn't get in a lot of fights, but I got in a few. Play league basketball when I was a kid. We do the same thing. We'd bash or trip the opponents. Yeah, I played Pop Warner football. We called it just kids football. That was fun. And there was some dirty teams I played out in California. There was some teams that were just some of these teams that were full of Mexican kids. Man, they were fucking dirty, dude. They would fucking punch you in the stomach, man, when the referee wasn't looking. They grab your face mask and pull you down to the ground, man. It was they didn't like us gringos, man. And the referees never seemed to throw a flag. Like, I go to the referee. Did you see that kid just fucking kick me in the stomach? And then grab my face mask and he's like, That was fun though. Then I would just get mad and then they would just run right over me. I got ran right over a few times. We played some Mexican kids, and there was some other teams that were full of black kids. Yeah. The black kids would just beat the shit out of us, man. It was horrible. We get our ass kicked by the teams from the black neighborhoods. They would just destroy us. I remember the one time this kid was coming, they just ran the ball right around the end, and like I was the last guy there to stop him, and there was like 2 blockers in front, and there was the guy behind him with the ball. They were just running right fucking at me, man. I was like, there was nothing I could do, man. The 2 blockers just fucking bam, and I was just laying them, and they all just ran right over me. It's like, there was nothing I could do about it, man. I just got ran over by 3 motherfuckers. And they were fast. Then my buddies back told me, yeah, you should have taken out the blocker. You should have taken out the blockers instead of letting him run you over. It's like, there was no taking out them blockers, motherfucker. There was no way I could have taken them out. And besides, even if I did take out the blockers, there was no one behind me to stop the fucking runner. But yeah, those are memories of my childhood sports. I loved it though, man. I loved playing football. I loved playing baseball. And I was pretty good at it. You know, I was pretty good, but the rest of my team always sucked. We had a few good players, but the rest of them were a bunch of fucking bitches. They were. So we never won a lot of games. Except for when I played baseball, I was on a really good team. We won a championship. That was fun. I managed to get on one really good baseball team in Little League. And it was a good experience. Like we only lost like 2 games the whole season. It was fun. But man, when we lost, it was hard. We used to do a half-court press. All would line up at the center line and block the opposing. In basketball? Yeah, so the Winter Olympics are just throughout a couple weeks away. I used to really like watching the Winter Olympics. I don't know, it doesn't really excite me much anymore. You know, the skiing is fucking amazing. These guys, people flying down the mountain like that. It's like constantly on the edge of total fucking destruction. And a lot of them do get fucking wrecked hard. You know, you got, if you're going to be right on the edge of total fucking disaster, that's what it takes. It's a fine line before totally wrecking yourself and winning a gold medal in the downhill skiing. That shit's impressive, man. You know, I'm not a skier, but man, I really enjoy watching that. So, but yeah, I imagine I could find a way to watch Olympic sports online. But I ain't paying for nothing, man. Paying for shit. I wouldn't pay 10 cents to watch the Olympics online. So yeah. So be an interesting year, 2026. It looks like we're going to be occupying Venezuela. We're going to be invading Greenland, bombing Iraq. This look like total World War III could be breaking out. You know, I mean, World War III is happening. They don't call it World War III, but it's been going on for decades. Ever since World War II ended, we've been fighting World War III. And when World War III ends, we'll be fighting World War IV. No, the wars just never end. It's never-ending warfare on planet Earth. They get crazier sometimes. You know, all the conflicts escalate sometimes for reasons, and they call it a World War II. But you know, I believe World War II is all about depopulating areas and wiping out history. They bombed the fuck out of all the old cities to reduce them to rubble so that we wouldn't understand about what was going on. It was a reset. And now, like they say, what's going on now? Another fucking reset. So they'll bomb the fuck out of the world again and then kill a bunch of fucking people. And then they'll have a bunch of people that don't know anything and tell them a whole new bullshit story. And they just keep doing that over and over again throughout history. So, you know, we're just the latest crop of humans that they've, you know, like cattle that they fucking raised. And now they got to fucking cull it off, kill off most of the population, destroy everything, and then start over again. I think that's what happens. Every so many hundreds of years, they do that. So who knows how long this shit's been going on. That's just my crazy, weird, wild, wacky conspiracy theory that I have. You know, that's why my channel is called The Growing Conspiracy, because I have all these crazy, whack job tinfoil hat ideas. Most people would say, man, you need help, dude. You need fucking help. Maybe I do. Fuck yeah. It's fun to, speculate and just think about things and just, come up with your own ideas about what really fucking going on in the world. I don't know. I just take the information that I see and try to create my own hypothesis. And yeah, now looking at 2026 so far, and I'm like, holy shit. It's going to be a heck of a year. We'll have a lot of stuff to talk about here every week. That's for sure. Like the gasoline last year, I was talking earlier about 51 gas stations around the Denver area were contaminated with with gasoline, like unleaded gasoline. They put diesel into it, so people were fucking putting diesel into their car. 51 fucking gas stations. You know what I'm saying? 51. It's past a silly mistake. I can see a couple gas stations affecting a few people, but this is affecting thousands of people that have to have their cars fixed. It's not an accident, and it was done on purpose, in my opinion. I mean, 51 gas stations had fucking diesel fuel in their unleaded. Luckily, my local gas station didn't get it, man. As far as I know. But it's a Sinclair. And that was a company that was Sinclair, just very lucky that my gas station didn't get it. And I didn't get some in my car. Because I would be so pissed off. And it costs you like anywhere from like $500 to $1,000 to have your fucking fuel system flushed out. Which is affordable, but still, you're going to piss me off, and that's going to really hurt. But, that's still an expense that people, but, there's going to be a big lawsuit. I don't know, but they're not. It's going to take a while. You're going to have to pay for it yourself before you get reimbursed. If you ever do get reimbursed, that's how it is nowadays. These corporations, man, they fuck people over, and then they just say, "Well, sue us if you want compensation." You're going to have to fucking sue us. But yeah, fuck yeah. That would have just pissed me off, man. I couldn't believe it when I heard that shit. And it just kept getting worse. First, I heard a report of a few gas stations are selling contaminated fuel. And then as a couple days went by, now it's 51 gas. It was like 36 and then 51. By the time it's all over with, who knows? It could be 100 gas stations. And how many people's cars were affected? Oh my God. And then, I don't know, what are they going to do? I guess they have to suck all that fuel out of their tanks and replace it, neutralize the tank or whatever, and then replace the fuel. I don't know. Sounds like it's going to cost a lot of million, maybe even $1 billion by the time it's all over with. But, $1 billion ain't much these days. Billionaires are the new millionaires. And now you ain't going to be shit unless you're like worth a couple $100 billion. like Trump, no, not Trump, but like Elon Musk or like fucking dickhead Bill Gates, they're like worth hundreds of billions of dollars. That's another thing that I hear a lot of people talking about these days is these fucking billionaires, man. They're so evil, man. They're hoarding so much resources from the fucking, they're like Smaug from the Lord of the Rings, sitting on his hoard of treasure. It's just evil, man. No one should have that much power, man. No one should have $200 billion. It won't be long till the first trillionaire is created. I mean, who the fuck needs that much money? I mean, come on. Because these people are sick, man. They have a disease of fucking greed. But yeah, it's like the third or fourth week since we've seen Joe Dirt, man. Hope he's doing well. But yeah, we got Ozzy in the house. Damn. Smoke more weed. Yep. It's a lifetime of abusing my lungs have caught up to me. But fuck yeah. But that's what's going on, man. This crazy year of 2026 so far. I'm predicting. I'm not predicting, but I've heard some people that I listen to saying, yeah, they're going to bomb Iran. It's going to happen. So that's it. But maybe I hope it's not right, but I think they're gonna bomb Iran. Just like I was sure that the Broncos were gonna win that football game and score 33 points. That's about how sure I am that they're going to bomb Iran in the very near future. I heard that there's a big war going on in Iran. Not a war, but protests. And like supposedly they're killing people, man. Like they're killing thousands of people on the streets. This is what I've heard. I don't know if that's true or not, but that's what our media is reporting, that the Iranian government is killing thousands of protesters on the streets. They're just fucking mowing them down, and that's why they want. That's why they're gonna go in there and bomb them. I don't know. And other reasons, we're not going to talk about the people with the tiny hats. Their influence on the whole situation. It's really crazy how the United States just and the man with the tiny hats are one and the same, right? And the man with the tiny hat nation is going to keep growing, keeps growing. It's gone from like this big to like this big. And that's the goal, is they just keep growing that territory and just taking over everything in their path till they wiped out the whole fucking world. Well, yeah, good times, 2026. But yeah, I think I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up. I'm going to keep this under an hour. Thanks, everybody, for hanging out. And we'll see you all next week. Good night.